Hello guys and welcome, it is ThatSrb2DUDE bringing you yet another episode of the Splatoon competitive guide. Today we are going to be going through Camp Triggerfish, the callouts and where people are going to be with certain weapons and all that type of good stuff. So yeah, I'm going to get into it straight away to tell you guys what you need to know, and let's get started. Alright, so here we are in Camp Triggerfish. Now this is the first callout that I'm going to mention to you guys. Now this area right here is called Gates. Now you can call it Rainmaker Podium if you wanted to, or just Podium, but we call it Gates because it's just, well, it's close, this area is just right next to the gates, so it's just easier to remember on all that type of good stuff. So if you want to be more specific about things, there's two gates and there's two gate walls. Well, yeah, both the same thing. The one that is away from spawn is called Gate 1, and the one that is closer to spawn is called Gate 2. So that's just just one thing you can remember if you want to be really specific about which wall they're climbing up. So now this area is known as Bridge. Now of course it's self-explanatory. This place is, well, it's a bridge. That's, this is where you usually would flank in splat zones. So you usually find a 10 attack flanking there or something like that. This ramp right here is called Bridge Ramp, of course, and this area of the bridge is called Back Bridge. Now you just need to remember that this specific part is called Back Bridge, and there is a reason for why it's called that, because there is another callout that is right under it, and that callout is known as Back. Now this area specifically is known as Your Back because it's just, well, it's the back that's closer to you, and this is where you would be pushing. And basically, if you're pushed up all the way back into their spawn, it'll be your back. So that's why it's called that. Now this callout is called Sneaky, and this callout can get a little bit confusing because you have to call out their Sneaky or your Sneaky or something like that. This one specifically is called their Sneaky because you're sneaking onto their side. If you remember it like that, it'll be easy. Same applies to this callout. This one is called Elbow, and this one on this side is called their Elbow because it's on their side of the map. So you just need to remember that because, of course, your back your back is connected to their Sneaky and their Elbow, so that's why it can get a little bit confusing. So this area right here is known as Zone. It's pretty self-explanatory. This is where the zones are in splat zones. You should know which one's your zone and which one's their zone, so I'm not going to continue on with that. In the little mid area is just called mid because in Rainmaker it's only there for Rainmaker and tower control and not for splat zones. Now this area is known as Street, and this is an area that you really want to keep control of because if the enemy team push through here, I mean, it's really hard to come back. So I suggest running a weapon with a wall just to, stand your ground, I should say. Now this little area right here is a sniping position or defensive sniping position. This is where the sniper would usually stand in the tower control if, well, the enemy team are pushing it, just to stop them off get people off the tower, I should say. And it also helps to snipe people off their bridge or your bridge and their Elbow. Now this is a callout that isn't, or barely is ever called out. This one is called Campsite. And it's called Campsite because it looks like a campsite, and this is of course called Camp Triggerfish, so this sometimes people can go here, so this is just a little bit of knowledge. Now this area right here is known as Main Ramp. Now a lot of things go down on Main Ramp. You usually find pretty much every weapon, usually weapons with walls, such as 52s that bounce their walls off where I threw that disruptor, 96s as well. You also find sometimes elites here, sometimes elites do lurk around here just to snipe undercover or snipe the person off their wall if they don't expect it, but it's not the easiest thing to do, so you rarely find snipers in this position. Now this area right here is known as Wall, and this is their sniper's position. There are two areas of it, the back of the wall and the front of the wall. This area right here is, well, where they'll normally be sniping, just the ramp of that wall, and this is the front of their wall. The sniper would usually back up if they're being challenged to the back of the wall, so they can just snipe people from the zone, like from this part right here. So that's just one thing I should mention. Now this is the last callout. Now this section or callout is known as Grates. Now the ramp I was just on, you can call it Grates Ramp, but this is basically called Grates. You should expect to see longer range weapons to shoot from here, or shoot the grates to their zone or their Elbow. or all that type of stuff. You also expect a lot of dynamos here, because in like 2 flicks they can capture the zone very, very quickly. So yeah, this is just one of those areas that, you know, you should expect to see those types of weapons. And that is going to be pretty much it for Camp Triggerfish, well, callouts wise. Now, there's one thing that I want to mention for the Splatoon competitive guide. It is not only just going to be callouts for this entire series and then I'm going to be done with it. I'm going to start with callouts for every single map, just so that you guys know, you know, everything about all the maps. And I'm also planning to do team compositions and map strategies. So once I've done all the callouts for every single map, that's what I'm going to be going on to. Because why I want to do callouts first is just so when I do get onto those types of videos, you guys know where is where, you know. So like if I was to explain, alright, so you're going to send a sniper to their wall and you're going to snipe a 96 to their elbow, you guys will instantly know, because I've told you the callouts for this video and it'll just be easy. So yeah, that's pretty much why I'm doing it like this. So that's pretty much all I needed to say, actually. So I thank you guys for watching this video. I'm sorry that I'm not bringing it out as often as I should be. I'm bringing it out often now because my schedule is pretty much freed up. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Please like, favorite, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Follow me on Twitter and Twitch, both in the description below. Do it for both if you're feeling generous. And as always, guys, this has been ThatSrb2DUDE, and I shall see you guys in a future video.